Hey, today I wanted to share some of my top favorite online jobs. Um, I'm really going to try to keep it brief because I could talk about this all day. But some of my top favorites. So, just a quick little background. If you don't know me, I'm Amanda Davila, and I left behind my nursing career to work from home after my son was born, and I haven't looked back. I have been working from home. I've done work from home nursing, and now I just freelance and run my own business completely on my own without any jobs or anything. So I've come a long way over the last few years, and it's been really exciting, and I love sharing about it because I really am passionate about other moms knowing that they have options. They don't have to stay in their dead-end job. They don't have to stay working in a toxic workplace, and they could be home with their kids and still make money. I want to start with, let's say, we'll start with virtual assistant because it's so it encompasses so much. So as a virtual assistant, you can be doing a huge range of different jobs. And what I love about being a virtual assistant is you can focus in on just certain tasks that you like to do. Or you can offer a wide range, and there's a lot of opportunity to learn and to continue to build your skill base. You also have control over how much you make. So that can range a lot depending on what you're doing, who you're working for, that kind of thing. So whether you are someone who just needs to make, $15 or $20 an hour, or you need to make $25, $30, $35 an hour, there are a ton of virtual assistant jobs out there for you to do things from home on your own schedule and make the money you need to make. As a virtual assistant, when I first started, I did anything and everything from social media posts to newsletters to website updates. What else? Gosh, lots of making, graphics and like ebooks and PDFs, different like freebies for business owners. I did a lot of different tasks. Email management. What else? Lots and lots of things. As I was learning these things, I did more and more focused, specialized things like web design. I started doing web design because I had built a couple of websites for myself, and I was doing things for my clients' websites, and I found that I enjoyed it. So I did a lot of web design for a while, and I still do it here and there and for myself all the time, but I still get hired to do it every now and then when I want to pick up an extra project. And I have a nursing background. I don't have any tech background. I didn't go to any special schooling to learn how to do web design. But one thing I really love about web design, I guess that'll be the next one I talk about. What I really love about web design is there are tons of options. And these days, you don't have to know a bunch of coding. Like, there's lots of drag and drop builders. And it's really easy to learn. There's tons of videos online that you can watch to learn. And it's fun because you get to be creative. And the other part I like about it, especially if you are someone who isn't like a super people-y person, you're more of an introvert or don't like having to talk to people all the time, it's nice to be able to focus on projects where you're just you and the computer, right? Yes, you have to communicate with your clients, and sometimes someone who's writing the copy for the website. If there's a graphic designer making different graphics, you might have to communicate with them. But basically, you don't have to be a super people-y person and be super social, which is really nice. A lot of us I've found that are, especially coming from the medical field, a lot of us have trained ourselves to be a people-y person because we've had to for our profession. But when it comes down to it, it isn't really like where we jive, and we enjoy helping people, but more behind the scenes. So for me, working virtually, as a virtual assistant, as a web designer, as an OBM, these different roles have been really, really freeing to me because I can show up every day with, mom bun and no makeup and wearing, clothes that are comfy, and I don't have to worry about all of the things that deplete me, that drain my energy, like how I look, my clothes look like, my hair looks like all of those things. So it's really nice. Like, there's a lot of benefits besides the obvious benefits of working from home that you don't always think about until you're actually doing it. It's really like helped me to open myself up to who I really am and finding myself, which seemed silly to me before. Like, I didn't realize how far removed I was from myself. So anyway, so virtual assistant, web design. Again, I had another friend who started out as a virtual assistant like I did, and she decided to do web design, and she had never done anything. I think most of us probably maybe did MySpace coding. Do you remember MySpace coding? Like how badass you felt when you like did all this like coding to like make your MySpace page really cool. But like that's the extent of of coding experience. But again, I use a program when I'm doing web design now that I don't have to do anything like that. It's very rare I have to do any kind of coding. And I know web designers who make $3,000 to $5,000 per project, and they don't use any coding, and they never have. So there's definitely a lot of money to be made in web design, and it's kind of fun because you get to be creative and also helping people. So anyways, that's one of my top favorites as well. There's times where I'm like, maybe I should go back to doing web design. But anyways, I have a friend who she didn't do VA work for very long because she decided to do web design, and she really excelled with it. And now she teaches people how to do web design, how to sell high-end services as a web designer. So anyways, there's so many options. And the other job that I want to talk about that's really good for a lot of people, especially a lot of busy moms and people who don't have maybe as much time to sit at the computer, but is social media management. I did a lot of this, and I do it for myself, now for my own business, but I did a lot of it for clients in the beginning. And it really is something that you don't have to spend a lot of time at your computer, and you can really do it on your own time. So you can, if you're creating graphics and scheduling them to go on social media, you can do that whenever works for you, right? So you can do it in the morning before your kids get up. You can do it on, lunchtime. You can do it at night after your kids go to bed, whenever works for you. If you have your kids all the time, it's hard to find moments to get work done. So having something flexible is really nice. And then also, as far as social media management, if you're doing engagement, so if you're helping clients with social media engagement, do that from your phone. You can do it from anywhere, anytime. So, if you're sitting in a long line of cars, picking up your kids from school, or, you have to get your kids to soccer practice or whatever, and you're just sitting there waiting, like, you can be engaging on social media from your phone. You can do it in those little stolen moments between the important things that you need to be, present for. So social media management is a really good one. A lot of people start there because they can start doing it while they're still working their job, or they can start easily, if they're not working currently, they can start easily fitting it in to their days of whatever they're doing. And then from there, they tend to, some stay there and just love it. Some want to learn more and then take on other tasks. So kids always trying to get in my videos. So anyways, oh, he wants to say hi. Or he wants to be weird. Saying hi?
Yeah, but I want to.
Okay. I need 5 more minutes, okay? Okay, go see Dad. Just trying to moon you guys. Where was I? Anyway, so yeah, so social media management is a good one. I know a lot of moms who still work jobs and have kids, and they start out by just doing social media management for some businesses to start building up their portfolios and getting used to what it's like to be a freelancer. And then eventually, once they feel comfortable and they build up their client base, then they leave their jobs. So if you're still working and you're not ready to just completely leave your job and you want to ease into it, there's a lot of options to do that with any of these jobs. So whether it's virtual assistant work, web design, social media management, all of them have huge opportunities for you to do them on your own time between other things, so you can make that transition if you aren't ready to just like cut cold turkey. I know I wasn't. It took a long time to transition fully out of having a job. So you have to do what works for you. And then just one last job I want to talk about is online business management. And I like to bring this one up because a lot of nurses who have the experience of managing people like to have a little more responsibility. So I know when I started as a virtual assistant, I was still working as a work from home nurse. So I still had the nursing side of things going on. And I enjoyed the virtual assistant work for a while, but then I wanted more. So I was used to managing people and, having bigger projects. And I missed that. So I transitioned to be an online business manager. So I was working as a bigger part of a few businesses, and I really enjoyed that because all of the experience I had with managing people, managing projects, looking at the big picture and keeping things flowing, right? So I felt that as a nurse, that really translated well. So I like to talk about that because you can make a lot more money as an online business manager. And generally, it's nice to have less clients, because the more clients you have, the more things rattling around in your head. And as a mom, if you have a mom brain like I do, that can be a little overwhelming. So at one point I had too many OBM clients and I had to start, working to weed that down. So by becoming a bigger part in some businesses and making more money, I was able to get down to less clients. And that was a lot more manageable for me. As a virtual assistant, I think at one point I had like 11 clients. And even though they were smaller clients, it got to be to the point where it was like so many different projects for so many different businesses. And I wanted to streamline things a bit more and have less people to have to remember all of their little nuances, about and stuff. So I like to bring that one up. A lot of people start as a VA and then transition into an OBM. And then there's a lot of people who just love being a virtual assistant. There's times where I think about going back to being a virtual assistant because there's so many opportunities. You can work with so many different types of people and businesses and projects and make really good money. So there's a lot of options out there for you. And let me know in the comments if there's something I said that like struck like, oh, that sounded interesting, if there's a job, or if there's something you have always wanted to do or think you might like to do or you've heard of and you want to know more information about it. Let me know what job that is. And I would love to expand upon that and help you see how that might be possible. I've been talking a lot about medical professionals transitioning, especially nurses, because I have a lot of nurses in my group. And that's, where I came from. And even if you are someone who doesn't want to be a service provider necessarily, maybe you want to start a business, not being a service provider. I'm trying to think of whether you're selling products or coaching or consulting or a digital product, something like that. So there's a lot of opportunities that, as well for that. There's also a lot of other jobs that, for nurses to do as a freelancer. Like if you love writing, you can do nurse writing. You can write articles for different companies where they want a nurse to do the writing. So there's so many options. I had a client who she teaches nurses and nurse practitioners how to make a resume and get jobs as nurses. So she has lots of small children and she doesn't work in the ER anymore. She works from home and teaches other nurses how to find jobs, how to have the perfect resume and how to deal with interviews and all all of the above and more. So she found something that was still in the medical field or medical industry, and she, you know, is able to be home with her kids while they're small. So there's so many opportunities, and that's why I share, because I want you to know that even though, you know, you might have gone to school to do whatever it is you're doing now, if it's not lighting you up anymore, if it's not the right place for you anymore, that's okay, and there are options. I have dealt with a lot of guilt about leaving nursing, because I think, you know, they need good nurses, people need help, you know. I went to school, I'm paying student loans forever. Like, so those things pop into my head. So if you have those same thoughts, you're not alone. But just know, like, you need to do what lights you up. So for me, being away from my kid 10, 12 hours a day wasn't okay with me. That wasn't the life I wanted. And so I had to make changes. And yes, of course, there's sacrifices. And of course, there's moments where I'm scared or frustrated or confused or unsure, like anybody else. But ultimately, I know that this is what's best for me and my family. Maybe I'll go back into nursing someday. I don't know. But for now, this is what is lighting me up. And I've been doing for the last three years, I think. At least 3 years. A little over 3 years, I think. So anyways, let me know if you have any questions in the comments. And again, if there's any, you know, if you want to share your situation and talk about what options you might have, or, you know, things you've heard of that you think you might be interested in, or you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Also, you can book a free clarity call with me. I'll drop that link for you, and we can talk about it one-on-one on Zoom about your situation, and I will give you the best recommendations and resources that I have. So, all right, I hope you have an amazing day. Talk to you later.